All right, what's up, YouTube? Let me move the mic. I moved the mic away. Okay, mic's right back here now. All right, YouTube, what's up? We're continuing our little series on TypeScript, and one thing you should note is that we have two classes. Of course, there is a question of how to actually write stuff to the web page from TypeScript, and for that, we're going to need to use a certain method. From the document class, we go document dot write line. That's pretty cool, right? So we can say right here, we can write a tag right here. We can say B, so that's for bold, B close, and I guess we can write some information from the Dylan object. So we can say Dylan dot get name, and we can make a space there, and we can say Dylan dot get age, and that will write everything we want to the screen, right? Well, there's going to be an issue that you'll see in a moment, but we're not quite there yet. So we'll run this, and I'll point out a little problem that you'll see. So as you can see, it doesn't actually write anything, and it's because we, well, actually I could have just shown you just then. Let me show you what the heck. I'll show you. So if we go to F12 debugger, it's going to say somewhere that it couldn't find. Okay, right here, console. It'll say reference error, person is not defined. So we were referencing a class called person. And although person exists within the same project, within the same directory, it doesn't know what we're talking about. So if we want person in this, right, if we want to have person, we have to actually drag person right here, and it'll create a reference to it, which is really nice. But that's not all. We also have to go into here, and just above where it says app.js, we should load our other script. So we'll say script source is equal to, and we'll call this person.ts. All right, that should be it. So let's save and then run. And we're still missing something. So it might be that this is case sensitive right here, the HTML document. So let's try that, see if that makes a difference. Run. Nope, that's not it. So it might be that this right here is case sensitive, even though it wrote it that way. Let's see if this fixes it. Something is amiss. Put person in there. Oh, I wrote TS. It's supposed to be JS. Because it's compiling right. That was a simple mistake. There we go. Now it actually put the information on there. So it overwrote everything. That's the nature of document.write line. It's the way we used it. It just sort of overwrote everything. But we got it to work now. This is fantastic. Fantastic. We can try a few more ways of writing code to the page. We could say elements dot inner text plus equals. Then we can say Dylan dot get age, or get name, excuse me. We could do that. So let's try that. There we go. And this time it doesn't actually overwrite everything, it just writes it down here, which is pretty cool. So we got this to work. It will show nothing if you don't have the proper references. So you have to have this reference right here, and you also have to load the script in here, which is a little tedious. Modules might fix this problem, but we're not talking about modules yet. We're just talking about basic reference path stuff. So that's how you write stuff to the screen. Isn't that cool? All right, so we're going to talk about other kinds of variables. So let's go with if. Well, let's close. Well, okay, I'll just keep going. So let's see. If a certain Dylan.getAge is greater than 5. No, let's say less than or equal to 5. Then we will change the age by 1. So if the age is less than or equal to 5, we will add 1 to it. And then we will display again. Elements.innerText. Let's do this. So we can refresh, and it'll load the web browser again, it looks like, which is, it is what it is. There we go, new age, 24, because it was not less than or equal to 5. So we can change the age from the start to just 1 year. Let's make him 1 year old. And we can do it again. So it keeps closing out the browser, but that's the nature of the ISS handle for Visual Studio. So new age is 2. Cool, and we can do a loop as well. What the heck? Let's do a loop. That's fun, right? So we can do a do while. So do while Dylan.age, get age is less than or equal to 5. And then in here we can say Dylan.setAge is Dylan.getAge plus 1. Oh, don't forget the parentheses. It is a method after all. Oh, and right here too. While Dylan.getAge is less than or equal to 5, add 1 to it. And heck, we could do this too. We could put that in there. Let's do a new line character. Let's see if the new line character will work right here, or if we have to actually make a tag. We'll find out. There we go. Looking good. So that was a do while loop. We can do for each loop, or for loops, excuse me. I meant to say for loops. So we can do a for loop right here. This, by the way, is still the main method. And it's nice they have JDoc comments right here. So we can say for I of type number, and then I is less than, what's a let's say 10. Be careful. You might be inclined to do this because you're like, oh yeah, this is right, but you're forgetting something. var. Don't forget var. You need var to create any kind of variable in TypeScript. As far as I can tell, there isn't a case where I can just go like that, unless I've previously defined. So yeah, it'll just complain. So do yourself a favor, get used to writing that. So now we have a variable named I of type number. I is less than 10, I++, and then we can, I guess we can write some stuff here. So, oh, let's do this. We can say ×2, and actually let's do Dylan2. Get age ×2. Let's do Dylan2. Make this more interesting. And let's do an elements.innerText, and we'll do a new line. Not whatever I just wrote there. Let's do this. Let's run, and it should run very nicely. Let's see. Oh, it went on this other monitor for some inconceivable reason. So we got, uh-oh, something ain't quite right. As you can see, so the second Dylan does not appear to be behaving. No, it's not behaving. Look at that. And to confirm that it's not behaving, we should write something else to help us distinguish that it's not behaving. As you can see, just doesn't want to work. So we can go to console to see if there's any error messages pointing up. There are not. We can look further. It only goes as far as that, as one can see there. If we go to debugger, it did compile, but we're not quite sure what it's doing. Oh, we can also look, while we're at it, at the code for person. This is what it looks like. It's kind of hideous. Going back to app, we gotta figure out what happened, you know? So I have a hunch that if I replace Dylan with Dylan2 with just Dylan in this second one, that'll work just fine. Let's find out. Run. Oh, well, I have to restart because you get the idea. So that also does not work. So as you can see here, we didn't set the initial value for I. You have to remember to do that. It didn't tell us because it's still somewhat permissible. Still somewhat permissive. We can do it again and it will actually work this time. There we go. It gets up pretty big too. Let's, of course, now we have to change it back to Dylan2. So it's like Despacito, but in fact it's Despacito too. I'm sorry, I should not have made that reference. Anyway, yeah, we had to set the initial value for I as 0. Sometimes Visual Studio will catch us on things like that in TypeScript, and sometimes it will not, so you have to be hypersensitive. And this is one of those times you have to be hypersensitive. So now when we do it, it should just be completely reflective of how Dylan2 is the number from the method get Dylan2 age or whatever. Yeah, now it's completely reflective of how that works. And it gets up to 23,552. Pretty nice. This is working out quite nicely. We want to do one more type of loop, but this one's going to be very, very, how should we say, self-explanatory. We'll just do a regular while loop. We can say while. Oh, let's create a count variable. So count of type count. Ooh, no, of type number is equal to 0, and then we can say while count is less than 6, and then we can go count plus. Oh, don't forget var. That's a very bad habit to forget that. It should work now. Yep, that works perfectly. So we can also say element inner text plus equals, and let's do a next line right there. Now we can actually if it'll let me select the entire line. There we go. All right. And this time we'll just have it print the count. Let's do this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, oh no, excuse me. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a slight difference. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll see you next time, YouTubers, fellow programmers, aspiring programmers of TypeScript, and we will cover arrays in the next video. This will be fun. And I think we'll also reference tuples, but we'll definitely talk about arrays in the next video. So I hope to see you then. Until then, continue being a great programmer, keep practicing, and yeah.